This is a specific list that was gathered for me. Valentine gave me this list herself. She said, do this one. This is a list of all Dark Souls waifus. From Dark Souls 1 to 2 to 3 to Bloodborne to Elden Ring. You even got some Sekiro waifus in here. And do I even need to show you the reason why she gets an S tier? I don't even think I need to put it on screen for people to know why. She's a goddamn S tier. Instant S. Yuria from Demon Souls. I think we give Yuria A for being goth. Our first goth girl. Wait, actually Maiden in Black is literally in black. Technically, she's the first goth girl. Dog, she burned her eyes with wax. If that's not goth, then I don't know what is. I think we'll go B for Yuria. Maiden Estrella from Demon Souls. All she does is she has a simp that follows her. She doesn't let him hit. She's probably one of the worst fights. I'm going to be honest. I would instantly give her F. She's for the streets. The fool's idol. She's also holding a piece of bread, which I will admit is pretty cool. She is holding a baguette on her right hand to smack you with. I would consider her a good C tier. The Dark Souls 1 Firekeeper. I don't know, man. While she is a great... She's not great anything. I think she gets a D. The Maiden from Dark Souls 1. I don't know. In my opinion, she's almost just as bad. She leads her entire group to their deaths in the darkness because they all get tricked by Patches. Patches and Petrus, I guess, technically. She gets an F. I think she gets the F tier. Dusk, on the other hand, gives you spells. How's she going to help you guys? She's trapped in a crystal. I think she's going to be a good C tier. And she does give you a cool crown. And the crown carries over to almost every single game. Mildred. Mildred obviously gets A tier. Mildred the Man-Eater. And she's an invader. Guys, women do invade. Fee a little too clean for S, you know, so. Quaylana. As much as I want to put Quaylana, the idea of Quaylana, I like. Being Quaylog's sister. All she does is sit there in the shit. And she's invisible, pretty much. So, we're going to have to put Quaylana D tier. She gets the D. Quaylog! She's the reason men love spiders. What more can I say about that? I mean, clearly we got our second S tier. She's the reason guys go to anthropology. Is that people who study spider? Quaylog's sister is what we got next. I will say, she's not on the level of her sister, let's be honest. She's not on the Quaylog level. But she is cute. Her quest lines has one of the better quest lines, in my opinion, for Dark Souls 1. I'm going to go ahead and pop her in A tier. Busty Patches, Busty Patches is not on the list, guys. Izalith. Wow, she's the epitome of a goth girl, right? She's more of a Wiccan girl, which is a little more on the weird side of goth. She took it a little too far. She became a goddamn slug. That would definitely lower her a couple tiers. And she's probably the reason for one of the worst boss fights in the history of Souls games. Sorry, Witch Izalith. You're going to have to be a goddamn F tier. Now we have the Dark Moon Knight S. Protects Gwendolyn. Protects Anne Orlando. Has her duty. And uses Dark Moon Blade. I think this is a pretty good B tier, in my opinion. Also has cool armor. Priscilla. Oh, the coat you can make from her. She's warm in that icy area. Imagine, where else would you want to be other than curled in between her thighs, right? That's probably the warmest part in all of the icy area in the painting for Dark Souls 1. So, we're going to go ahead and get our third S tier waifu in Priscilla. Should we get just a Guinevere category in its own? That's like S+. I will say that's the imagination of Gwendolyn making a projection of Guinevere. While I do think Guinevere was probably as talented as the projection that we see, the Guinevere that we know is a projection. But even then, S tier. Almost. I'm this close to making another double S tiers right there. Or should we make a double D tier? Sieglind, very loyal, incredible daughter. Goes literally to the afterlife to search for her father. She's one of the few characters that I believe isn't undead, which is amazing. She just straight up went down there willingly and lived. Outlived her fucking dad. She's a goddamn A tier. Siren, the waifu of one of the most legendary character in the Souls series, Artorias. You think he'll get mad if we put his main hoe at an S tier? I can't put her in S tier, I don't think. She's a good A tier. I think Siren's an A tier. Because most of the time we end up killing her for her weapons anyways. I can't call her a hoe, I just did. Now, we have the Emerald Herald. Need I say more? I don't think I do. I don't even think I gotta explain myself. Rosabeth, I'm pretty sure she gives you Rana. So let's go ahead and just pop her in D tier. Mainly because she's one of the few characters that you can dress up in the Souls series. So we're gonna go with a D tier for Rosabeth. Rosabeth, I'm pretty sure is the one that you unlocked as coughing like crazy. Nah, she's not D tier. She's C tier. She's nice. You can dress her up. She's pretty cute. In general, just her manner of speaking. She has probably one of the most unique and funniest lines in all of the Souls series of her, like literally coughing up a fucking frog. Next character to join, Cloanne, who is the daughter of the Green Blacksmith in Dark Souls 2. And there's only one thing that she can offer.
And we both know what that is.
So let's go ahead and pop her right where she belongs. On her A tier. Lucatiel. I gotta go S tier with Lucatiel. Dark Souls 2 Ornifex is next. We got F tier, right? Of course not, chat. It's gonna be S. S for seeds. And not the ones you're thinking of. I'm talking about ones that she eats. The Milfinitos. They can barely sing. They don't get off the ground. They're dirty. Their dresses are barely green. That's fucking D tier. Do I need to say anything? Then we have Najika. She's kind of a bitch, I will admit. Even her brother thinks she's kind of a bitch. S for Scorpion? I don't think so. An emo scorpion with blue hair. I gotta go C. Just because she's mean. Then we have Mytha from Dark Souls 2. Higher. We gotta go B for Snake. Who the fuck is Lycia? Who that bitch?
Oh, it's the Miracle Waifu.
Oh, fucking F.
Yeah.
F tier. Insta F. Maybe even like under F. That's the worst. Lycia. Wow, hell no. That's it. Now, just for respect for Valentine, because she loves her, and I will say, one of the best NPCs, most loyal NPCs, coolest NPCs, you guys probably can't even see her, Alsana from Dark Souls 2 from the DLC. She's the only one of the daughters that wasn't fucking corrupted, even though she's faced decades of the abyss, and she somehow still is good and got her figure as well. So we're gonna go ahead and put Alsana in an S tier. I think she deserves it. Nadalia's a chair. D. Elena, the meat waifu. It's a pretty solid meat skirt, I will admit. I'm gonna have to go with a C. Nashandra. Now we know how she ends up. I don't know if I like that. She's a bitch too. She's literally the epitome of evil. So Nashandra, F tier. Oh my god. Now we have quite literally what could be considered tippity top. Quadruple S, absolutely. The Dark Souls 3 Firekeeper. If there was ever an S, it has to go to her. The Dark Souls 3 Maiden, aka Blindy. I would go ahead and put her in B for blind. Carla's S? You guys are thinking S? What is wrong with you guys? Hell to the no, she is not an S tier. She's like, I'd have to go with C. Now, some people might crucify me for that one, but I'd go with C. Some of you might know her only as that character from Night Rain. Yuria's gonna have to go into B tier. The Dark Souls 3 dancer. You deserve to be burned at a stake? What, for this? Or for... And somehow she's made it to the future. The dancer. S tier. Look how many S tiers there are. God damn. Henri. The only character in the Souls series that you can canonically penetrate. You can marry her. You know what? We're gonna go a S tier for a reason. And that is because the female version of Henri is high up there. The male version of Henri, on the other hand, I would put much lower. She's so unique that whatever race or whatever gender you pick, it will be the opposite. So if you pick a female, it's a male Henri. If you pick a male, it's a female Henri. So that you can marry them, you know? So, honestly, I think that's such a unique aspect to this that I think that deserves S tier. I misspoke. Sorry, chat. I meant to say race. Rosaria. All she does is sit there and hug a slug. Gonna go A tier. Cirrus. Dark Moon Waifu. I think for Cirrus, we're gonna have to pop her in B tier. Or C tier, I mean. Sorry. I would consider her C tier. I do like her quest. Yorshka. Cute waifu. I think we gotta go with S tier for Yorshka. She just sits there being cute. She thinks you're a flying goddamn monkey. Now we're talking socks. These are non-existent. S tier for Frida. Filianor. The egg waifu, if you will. She's so clumsy, fucking breaking eggs and shit. D is what Filianor gets. Shira. Man. She's friends with Midir. B. I would give her a B. Interesting quest, and she does have my favorite weapon in Dark Souls 3. Midir Loki S tier waifu. He's not in here though, guys. He's not in here. The painted girl from Dark Souls 3. Should I just put her in F not to get in trouble? I guess canonically they say that she's the painter of the Dark Souls 1 painting, which is pretty fucking cool. But this is a waifu tier list. Cool character. F for waifu. As a waifu, she gets a F. No diddy on that one. And then from an F, straight to another S. The Bloodborne doll. Illegal tier for the painter. Hold on, I'll kind of find that funny. Hold up. There we go. I like that. Alright, the Bloodborne doll. Obviously, easy freaking S tier. That's S tier right there. Eileen, while I do think she's cool, she barely does anything, but she's along the same lines as Yuria, in my opinion. Well, she is cool, a cool character, but in general, she's kind of just a fighting character. I guess if we put Cirrus in C, no, let's put her in B. I think she's pretty cool. She also has great weapons. Next up, we have Vicara Milia. Guys, I'm going to jail. Ariana from Bloodborne. Patient prostitution is illegal. So, which character is Adela? Is it the fact that I can't remember her F tier? Yeah, right? She's a crazy one? F tier then. Yosefka. She's a renowned doctor. She's a surgeon. A respectful one for that. But with a little bit of an issue in that she turns people into aliens. I don't know if I can give her anything higher than a D. So Yosefka gets the D. Queen Annalise. She's literally invincible. Comes back after being ground to a paste. She returns to her normal self. But she's kind of a bitch. I can't, for the life of me, put her anywhere higher than a C tier. She's impressive, I will admit. Queen Yarnum. Sorry, hun, but I don't like wives. F. No gracias. She has a kid, too? Nah, I'm good. Lady Maria. I think we know exactly where this is going. S tier. Can't be anything other than an S tier. Emma. Probably, most likely the best waifu in Sekiro. So let's go ahead and give her an S tier. She takes care of you and she'll fuck you up. Orin. I don't like how Orin tricks you. I'm going to be honest. I don't like trickiness. Mischievous women. Orin gets the D. Lady Butterfly. S. Hell no. She got that gilf energy. You know what I mean? I gotta go with A. A for A for gilf. Melina. Am I thinking? I'm thinking A for Melina. A lot of people would consider maybe S, but I'm thinking A. I don't know. I feel like Melina gives you Torrent. If Torrent was in here, I'd put it. I mean, don't get me wrong, in the I ain't going to jail category. But as a partner who is a partner more than a waifu, S tier, right? Easily Torrent. But I think just A, maybe even B tier. I would even put her. Yeah, I want to pop her in B. I'm a pop her in B. Ranny, on the other hand, I think Ranny would go to A. Or in the I'm going to jail category. But I'm pretty sure she's a doll, so I think it's fine. We're going to pop her in A. You do marry her. And like Henri, she is canonically a character you can marry. But, chat, she shows up once. You marry her ass. The first time you meet her, you marry her ass, basically. She orders you around like her little puppy dog. And then you give her an expensive ring. Granted, she does give you a cool sword back, so it's kind of a return. But then she goes to Cabo with her gal pals, and then you don't see her till the end of the game. Does that sound like a S tier to me? Now we're talking about the little doll version. That's S tier right there. It's perfect jar size. I don't know. A lot of people love her. I don't think of her as this amazing waifu. Maybe that's the first woman that a lot of these guys who played Elden Ring are gonna ever marry. But guys, I played Dark Souls 3 and I've married Henri. So Ranny ain't nothing special here. So I gotta go with A tier. You give her a ring and then she goes on vacation to Cabo with her gal pals and does not pick up her phone. She leaves you on red and then she picks up at 4 p.m. and goes, I fell asleep. Sorry, honey. Fia. She's the only one who you can ever see her thong. And she, for a lot of people, was their first hug. Guys, she's A. Roderica. Now, Roderica's pretty useful. She becomes useful. I'm going to put Roderica in C tier. Selin. Do we ever see... I was trying to think. Do we ever see the real version of Selin? Because she always has her mask on. And then she becomes a ball. Because she wants to be smarter. She has the most iconic feat in the history of a game that is entirely dedicated to feet. So just for that reason, Miyazaki literally day and night did drawings, art, just for Selin. It's got to be S. Selin from the ankle up, maybe a B or a C. Ankle down, S. Renala, the version of her that we get when Ranny summoned her, I think we could consider that A, maybe S. Massive thick waifu who floats, might I add. But the real one is her cradling a jizeg. Is that what we're looking for in our waifus? But she is still Renala, so we gotta put her in B. We gotta put her in B. Hyetta. I love how they have Hyetta before Arena. I'm gonna go ahead and put Hyetta C tier. Arena, the OG, D tier. Arena dies. Actually, fucking Arena's F tier, man. She shows up for one thing, goes, can you leave my father this note? And then gets jumped to death. And then Hyetta takes over. That's insane. Why is a Nox Maiden in here? The different versions of the Nox Maidens. They do have cat ears, but as enemies, they fucking suck.
I do like the Buff Waifu.
Huh? D. They both get the D. The Black Knife Assassin. I love how they have like enemies here that all they really do is stab you. Canonically, she's the only waifu who penetrates you. So, C tier. Loretta. She must stink in that armor. S. A Latina. Isn't Latina just almost like a dead body next to a rotting wolf? S. Then we have Anastasia. Essentially a shittier version of the Mildred. Let's be honest. I think we're going to have to give her just... She gets the D. Nefeli. The daughter of one of the greatest characters in Souls history. She's going to have to be A tier. There we go. Nefeli gets an A. Easy A. She's not on the S tier level, but it's pretty good. Raya. Does this count here? But she's also a snake. How do snake ears work? Guys, listen, I will say, Raya to me, and I've said this literally since the beginning of Elden Ring, since it came out, I love her as like a sister character. You want to protect more than you want to, you know, kind of Queen Mariko over here. So for that reason, I would give her a low rating on the waifu scale. Even though I do like her as a character, I'm going to put her in the I ain't going to jail category because technically she's a snake. I ain't getting in that Chloe. No, thank you. You know? Maris, she shows up next to a golem. That has everything I want. F. Tanith. Now, we were talking earlier, right? We were talking about simps. We were talking about the girl who has a simp following her in the Maiden Estrella. Tanith is essentially a simp following around Rykard. And then she eats Rykard. And then nothing comes from that. She's just sitting there eating him. I remember everybody thought that was going to come to something when it comes to like the DLC. But she can put that snake away though. She puts that shit away. She ain't sharing none either. There's parts of Florida where they eat anaconda and python. What's different here? She gets our girl Tanith a C tier. Eleonora. You only, I believe, see Eleonora once. But her weapon is cool. But for the sake of the fact that you really only see her once, I'd have to give her a D. So she gets the D. Millicent. This is a tougher one. She's a pretty good waifu, I will admit. I remember stepping on her within A tier for Millicent. Millicent gets an A. Melania. Melania. A lot of people would want to say S tier for Melania. A lot of people. Have you guys seen she's bald? Guys, you ain't getting far there. Unless you're going to have straight up an IV that has the rot boluses going straight into your vein. That ain't going to work the way you think is going to work. So on the waifu scale, she gets a B. Then Queen Marika. She's really been turned into a weird kind of you know, S. I think it's pretty good. I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's any that I would maybe move. I don't think I would. She's a dude only half the time. And I'd put Radagon in S as well.